So I read the 168-page TMZ document where it had the entire timeline with additional text messages in it, and I called it. When Ryan Reynolds, Massimo, and Blake Lively posted a picture on their Instagram, and I was like, they did that same shit with Justin Baldoni. It started off cool, and then everything went high and left. And I was like, it would be in Massimo's best interest that he needs to go ahead and distance himself. I know he's trying to break out and be an A-list celebrity, but this ain't it. This ain't it. The same exact shit to Temu Thor, right? Where Temu Thor was taking group photos with Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, there's a pattern. There's a pattern in behavior. The same shit to Colleen Hoover. And I know that people are waiting on my second video on Colleen Hoover, but my spirit and my intuition was like, wait. Because the more I watch videos of Colleen Hoover and Blake Lively interact with each other, I'm like, something ain't right in my spirit. Some tells me that Colleen Hoover got bullied into betraying Justin Baldoni. I don't have confirmation, but my gut and my spirit tells me that she got bullied. Considering that Colleen Hoover comes from a domestic violence background and she watched her mother be abused, and seeing her nonverbal responses every time Blake Lively would say something disrespectful and out of pocket and how she would bow her head into submission, I was like, I think she got intimidated and bullied by Blake Lively. And that's why she betrayed Justin Baldoni. Because when I made that first video about her, I was like, I think I might be wrong about this. And then I was like, let me learn more about Colleen Hoover. And I'm like, Colleen Hoover is more successful in regards to a loyal fan base and accomplishment than Blake Lively. The problem is Colleen Hoover does not have the self-worth and the self-esteem to see that. Blake Lively made mention of, I'll follow her wherever she goes, because she knows that Colleen Hoover is easily manipulated, that she can be easily swayed and bullied. And while people keep making mention of this stupid-ass morality clause, you know that was a hunch that went high and left, right? Because until someone can produce a contract that has said morality clause, it's all bullshit. I took a look at the first page of the amended lawsuit. I haven't gone over the entire thing that's coming next. But if I was Brian Friedman, I would include Maximum Effort Production Company in it. And remember how people in the comments were like, how come Sony is not being sued? How come Sony isn't being called out? And I said, they're distro. They're not. Now that I've seen more context in regards to Sony tried to intervene, Sony tried to say, hey man, like this ain't cool. And that Blake Lively lied about how she went to Sony in regards to the alleged sexual harassment. Sony did nothing. Come to find out, Sony did do something, and Blake Lively was like, nah, never mind. And my gut was right in regards to why Sony wasn't involved in the lawsuit. Sony did what they can. Blake Lively threatened and extorted them too. Oh, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to not promote this movie. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z. And mind you, Sony's bottom line, because they were responsible for the funding and the distribution of the movie, is to get their return back on investment. Because imagine pouring millions and millions of dollars into a project and one person hijacked it and one person is threatening to completely derail the project. Your hands are tied. And this is why I'm like, nah, I got no beef with Sony. I didn't know the full context, but now that I see it, I was right. For those who don't know, Maximum Effort Production Company is Ryan Reynolds' production company. And the fact that, and I said this in previous videos, that the $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is sound, because it's not just Justin Baldoni, Steve Horowitz, Wayfair Productions, and Jamie Heath. She got a lot of people fired. And shout out to the first and second assistant director that clocked her bullshit and was like, we need to replace her. But instead, they ended up getting fired. And so I hope they get compensated, because they really tried to protect Justin Baldoni and they clocked their bullshit. And the fact that the first and second assistant directors are women and Blake Lively got them fired, For the Blake Lively girlies who are just dying on a hill supporting her, what happened to support all women? I swear, by now, if y'all are still defending this woman, y'all full of shit. When you review the 168-page timeline report that TMZ provided, you can see that Blake Lively was on that fuck shit long before principal photography even started. And while people think that, oh, it's just a bunch of celebrities going at it or they're just feuding, y'all understand. There was another article that was released that Justin Baldoni's production company's other projects, to include Eleanor the Great and Pac-Man, may possibly be stalled, delayed, or shelved because of this entire situation. The second and third order effect is people's jobs are on the line. It's not just Justin Baldoni, Steve Horowitz, and Jamie Heath. These are people's livelihoods. You're talking about crew. You're talking about staff who are employed by Wayfair Production who possibly cannot work because of this bullshit. All because Blake Lively and her colonizer husband wanted to steal not only the movie that's just been released, but the sequel to the movie. Which makes it so crazy and wild that Colleen Hoover has written over a dozen books. Why this particular movie? Why that? They have their own production company, but they wanted to sit there and be a whole ass colonizer and steal another person's project. Regardless on how you feel about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and her husband stole a movie, hijacked an entire premiere, lied about being sexually harassed to mask the theft. And if y'all still support her, it really comes into question your moral character and your integrity.